As with any trend, there's always going to be maybe some overhype or maybe misconceptions. What are some of the common myths about AI that you may encounter, and how do you address these with whether it's clients, audiences, whatever?
Yeah, I mean, they definitely come up, and there's a lot of myths, and I think the hype pushes this, and possibly you start to see it in the media and films and whatever else. But I've heard people saying like that they believe AI can work completely on its own. Its systems
Yeah,
can be flawless or making perfect decisions. We know that those aren't making perfect decisions, and the reality is the AI systems are not perfect and can make mistakes and hallucination, all those different things
yeah,
that we're kind of hearing about. And especially, or most importantly, if they're not trained, or they encounter situations outside of the training models or the data. So obviously, it's as ever, it's all about the right people to kind of set them up for success.
yeah,
And another one is that AI is just for big companies, or big kind of corporates. And for me, we service a range of clients, and some of the sort of smaller, medium-sized ones are already starting to implement it. I've got a client that we're doing some digital transformation for. They're called TireNet, and they fix tires on the side of the road when haulage companies, when they get a tire burst. You think, well, how's AI going to kind of do this? But we basically built a system that is kind of underpinned with the AI. That basically the AI model is now being trained by their most optimal operator, and it will copy their entire way of working, and then that becomes the data for the model. And so what that will do, instead of putting people out of jobs, it will free up the team to be able to spend more time with their valued customers rather than doing that kind of same work over and over again. But yeah, I'd say it's big, small companies, definitely.
yeah. I like that, that you addressed that point, because I mean, most of my work is with the larger, enterprise orgs, but I see it in my own work. I talk with plenty of other people that are at smaller companies or have their own companies, and yeah, it does seem to be maybe different applications or different ways that it's used, but it does seem to apply to regardless of size. And that kind of brings me to the next question, which is just how do you see you gave a great example with the tire changes even, but how do you see AI changing the nature of work and the skills required for success in the future of work?
Well, it's funny you said what you were just saying, because you know I know it's changing the nature of work, because we're starting that process ourselves. And the
Yeah,
classic adage of eating your own dog food. Well, if we spend all day talking to clients about how AI can enhance their business, we're also looking internally about how AI can enhance our own efforts at running an agency. So last
yeah,
year we started, I think it was called the AI Ambassador Initiative. And, like everybody, we're navigating the dynamic digital landscape and staying on top of all of these technological advancements. And it's not just something that we need to do. For us, it's essential. Yeah. So if we're allowing our team members to conduct research on different technologies and then facilitate the discussions between the different team members, an example of that is last year we started experimenting with GitHub's Copilot. And first we limited it to a small amount of engineers, and then eventually we expanded it to more than sort of 60 engineers across different teams. And, for us, there's significant effort and cost into these initiatives, but of course it's clear and it's an important part of our growth. So yeah, we know that the nature of work and skills, will be required. We know that will change. And people often refer to when computers came out and the work and skill demand changed. And that's an old adage as well, but I prefer the one of when tractors were invented and people were able to do something more interesting than just toiling in the fields. But
right.
either way, it's clear increased demand in the future will be for people that can build AI and those who can use AI systems. Those who've got the skills, they will be the ones that are most in demand. But more than that, it's people that continue to learn and upskill themselves. They will always be in demand, because this is always going to kind of continue to grow. And just on that point, Infinum has been running its own academy programs for years now, best part of a decade, in iOS, Android, design, product management. And then last year, we actually started our own academy course in data AI. And that's for people to kind of come and learn and then take that back into their businesses. And even myself, I think later this year, I'll be going on the Oxford University Artificial Intelligence program, because I think there's no end to it.
Yeah,
there's always
yeah.
something that you can kind of continue to learn.